Hello everyone, welcome to this memory plan with me for the week of March 29th, so the last week in March. And I'm starting off a little bit differently here because I'm heading straight into my washi banner. I haven't done one of these for a little while, and somebody mentioned that they hadn't seen them and thought they'd be nice to have them back. So I thought, okay, I will do one because I usually do them off screen and at the beginning before I start my spread. So today I've done that, but I'm just filming it for anybody that hasn't created a washi banner before. It's pretty straightforward really. I'm using mainly simply gilded washi tapes that I have that are in a similar colour to the kit that I'm going to be using. And then when I'm finished doing this, I will show you through the kit and speed you through the basics and the laying down as I normally do. As I mentioned in my previous plan with me or memory plan with me, I'm hoping to do a couple of weeks so that I can catch up. I only like to be virtually the week behind the actual week that I'm planning. So I feel at the moment they've just got a bit away, and I'd like to improve that. So that will be, keep an eye out for those videos coming shortly in a more frequent pattern until I get caught up, and I'm only a week behind. So I'll continue on with this, and then I will leave you to the music after I've shown you the pieces in the kit. So the kit I've chosen for this spread is a Harriet Wright Designs called Cafe Chic. It is using gold foil with lots of lovely pink, mauve and neutral tones. I realised only after I'd actually started planning that I had meant to use an Easter kit, because towards the end of this week it is in fact Good Friday, but somehow I completely mucked that up and I ended up having this kit on my list to use. So I wanted to get the spread done. I do want to get caught up, so I decided to go ahead and use it anyway. I have marked Easter in there, but not the same way that I would normally do with a dedicated kit. So that Easter kit will have to just go and be tucked away for next year when Easter comes around again. Harriet Wright Designs is not just pretty to look at and a beautiful product, but it also gives you a lot of functional pieces so that you can really enjoy planning with this kit. So please join me as I speed you through, and we'll catch up soon for the plans. Now it's time to lay down the plans for that week, and I'm just going to go across the top and use these work stickers from Mum and Me Designs and from Samantha May Sticks, just some little shapes. They're a small arrow which I've used lengthways and marked work across the top, just the 4 days because Friday was going to be Good Friday. And then I've gone along beside the work stickers, which I don't always do, but these stickers really are very sweet. So they're a little computer laptop with a cuppa and a little bow, and I've popped those beside the 4 work days going across the top of the page. The Pretty Pink Co is a Canadian store, and they really do some beautiful feminine icons, scripts and various things. Now getting started, it wouldn't be Monday without a cuppa, and so I've used a Mum and Me Handmade Designs coffee cup and just one of my coffee scripts, and taking a box from the kit. I've actually just used one of the fairly plain quarter boxes there because the coffee cup and the coffee script will be enough to fill that little spot there. And I've laid that down. As you can see right through the kit, there's a really nice selection of foiled, unfoiled, patterned, non-patterned boxes. So there's really plenty of choice when it comes to being able to create the document or the event for that day. Now, as you can see, I've cut one of the tails off the end of the coffee script, which is part of the reason why I've got a tail on either end, so it can be moved to and from the different sides depending on where I want to place it and what coffee icon I want to use it with, or if I want to just use it on its own. The ideal thing with having them either end is that you do get to play with that and you have that choice. So I'm just going to place down the coffee sticker, and then after I've found a happy spot for that, to place the cup also. And because I've used the computer sticker at the top, then I tend to alternate the sides that I put the coffee cup to. I'm sure you've noticed that if you've, and I have no doubt you will have watched lots of planners, and more often than not they tend to do that just to try and keep balance on the page, and it makes perfect sense. And so that's what I've done here with this particular box with the coffee on it. Now, using one of the pieces of washi or a header piece, I've then popped down here that on this Monday I was going to prepare the wages, which is what I do on a Monday for payment on a Tuesday. And in between these 2 boxes, I've actually used my own prepare wages script there. And as I mentioned before, because the tails there, I can sort of pop this right in the middle, and I haven't actually used an icon there on that one today. I've just made it a small sticker there, and in between I've popped a little Harriet Wright Designs divider. So it's a sweet little bow with a flourish. It's quite simple, it's not too big, and it does the job, and you'll see me use those throughout the spread. Just having a little hunt through my albums here because I didn't pull out my Happy Mail script for this one. Normally I plan ahead for my spreads, but sometimes I miss one, and I seem to have done that today. So I'm using one of my fonts, which is a one full joined word. You can certainly cut that if you want to put it on 2 separate lines, but for today's purpose it will do the job. And so that's just a Happy Mail script, and I will end up, I actually decided in the end not to use another gold foiled icon, but to use the little Happy Mail envelope that's with the kit. So at this stage I'm still fluffing around and going through my albums trying to decide what to do, and that's the big advantage of pulling the stickers beforehand, is that you don't spend all this time fluffing around like I'm doing here. And in the end, what I had pulled out I decided not to use anyway, because I'm trying quite hard to look through the kits a little bit more and use what comes with them, especially when you've got beautiful products like this one from Harriet Wright Designs. And there really was quite a lovely little envelope with a gold bow on it that was just calling out to be used for this spot. So in the end, even after this a long delay while I was trying to think of what to do, that is what I ended up doing. So I'm taking a plain quarter box from the kit, although it's probably more like a third box size because it's got the little fluted scallop edge at the bottom and it's in that deep mauve colour. It's really quite nice. And then I'm putting the Happy Mail on that. Now I did go to use the deco, the little floral deco piece that was on the sheet, and while everything was quite beautiful, the only complaint I had was that this particular floral deco had a really large amount of white sticker around it, just quite unusual. Most places keep the cut lines quite close to the product, and I really didn't think that looked very nice. So I've had a bit of a fiddle, and I've cut around the outside. And again, that's something you would eliminate when if you plan out the spread. And I really didn't matter where I put it, that heavy white border on it was just not grabbing me at all. So I did need to cut that down. And then eventually I was happy to add that to the top of the box. I've used, as I said, the little envelope from the sticker sheet and popped on there with my own gold Happy Mail script that this day I received some Happy Mail from Bloomsicle. Setting down underneath that again with quite a plain quarter box, I've used more of the deco from the kit and a little grocery shopping trolley to mark on there that I had gone to do some grocery shopping. It was actually for the clinic. It wasn't my own grocery shopping on this afternoon. And to get ready for a bit of an Easter spread that we had to finish off the, well, not so much the term. We don't work in terms at the clinic, but just a little bit of a milestone. We always do something for Easter just to celebrate. And we particularly look forward to those events with COVID having been such a stressful time for everyone. And again, because of my lack of pre-planning, you can see me fussing around trying to come up with a divider for this. So I did decide in the end to go with Harriet Wright, or rather the Pretty Pink Co, I should say, because they were quite a narrow, not too fussy a divider. And given that there was so much going on in the kit and it was such a beautiful design, the dividers really did need to be more of an understatement. So popping across to Tuesday, I have used another one of the scallop boxes, but this one's got a little bit of gold confetti foiling at the top of it, which is rather nice. And I just marked in there that I had a staff member unwell this morning. I'm pretty lucky. These girls are very, very reliable, and they're a great bunch. And they certainly don't take time unless they're genuinely unwell. And on this occasion, actually, the staff member had come to work but had become quite unwell while she was there. So she needed to head off home, and a couple of other people stepped into the void and helped out there and took over her shift, and we continued on for the day. And then just under there I've used a half box, again with the confetti foiling at the top. I really like those boxes. They're just, they're not too busy, they're just enough. And a little bit more deco from the kit and a little bit of a layering scalloped circle. And I've popped the camera on that scalloped circle just to note that I had uploaded one of my February memory plans with me on this particular occasion. So then moving underneath that, I have taken a quarter box, a fairly plain quarter box, and I marked on there that Diesel, our is not really my puppy, but he certainly is part of our family while the kids are still living here, and he had to go and have some vaccinations on this day. So I'm using, actually it's a label I ended up using, and I've just flipped that around and marked on there that Diesel had his vaccines. We still take him back to where we used to live, which is up in the Dandenongs, and the kids take him to a vet up there, so off he went with them. And I used a Mum and Me Handmade Designs gold paw print to pop onto the side of that label. The paw print is a little bit on the big side compared to some of the other deco, but it's probably quite appropriate given that he's a Rottweiler puppy and growing at a massive rate, so it's kind of ironic. So after that little trip to the vet was marked, I decided to go underneath there with another one of the labels, a small label, and mark on here, although this does have the little gold bow on the side of it. And I've just marked that I had my first COVID vaccine, and I've used a stethoscope, which is a little printable from Petticoat Bandit, and I've also written on there first Covax. Interestingly enough, as I'm doing this voiceover several weeks later, this was the AstraZeneca strain that I got, and or rather the AstraZeneca vaccine, and I had no real reactions. I was a little bit weary in the evening, but on the whole, I didn't even notice. It was no different to a flu shot for me. And our clinic as a whole has not had many people with, or hasn't had any that I'm aware of, with any nasty reactions. But there has been quite a fuss made because there are other people who obviously have experienced difficulties, and now they're ditching the AZ to go to Pfizer. So that alone presented some challenges. So now I have skipped right across onto Friday, which is something that I've been doing lately. It's driving me bananas. I'm not sure why, but I need to look up and just check that I have in fact pushed that film button. So I skipped Wednesday and Thursday. So basically on Wednesday we had our Easter staff function, and I paid some bills on Wednesday, and I bought a few Easter eggs to hand out to the staff before they head off on the Easter break. And then on Thursday I marked again that I did some banking and some different things that I needed to get done before I took Easter leave. I had one of my sons and his sons, my grandsons, over for dinner that evening, and that was pretty well Thursday. Nothing terribly exciting happened on Thursday. It was mainly just getting ready so I could take the leave, which I wasn't actually very successful in doing. And then moving across to Friday, I've marked on there that it was Good Friday. Now that is a sticker from the silver planning. I'm going to have to go back and add that over the top of this. I'm very sorry. I keep going to say the silver bullet, but I don't know that that's it. And I've marked in there that Good Friday on one of the leopard and gold foiled boxes, which was rather gorgeous, and the Good Friday fitted in there beautifully. Then underneath that, I've used a pretty pink little box with some rabbit ears coming over the top. I did have a couple of Easter stickers, and I've completely jumped back to the end of the spread and gone back to the beginning as I'm popping it into the Estelle. I am not sure why I'm losing these blocks of planning. It's most frustrating. So you really only got 2/3 of one, but you'll notice that I had a bit of a sleep in on Good Friday morning. In the afternoon, some Happy Mail had arrived that I opened from the day before, and I did a little bit of cooking on Saturday to get ready for a lovely Easter egg hunt with my sons and grandchildren on the Sunday morning, which was lovely. So I'm just giving you a little wiggle of all the gold foiling in this kit. Harriet Wright Designs really does do some beautiful things, and despite my ridiculous effort at filming and my jumping all over the place, that by no means diminishes how beautiful her products are. So I'm just showing you the deco and headers that I had left over in a few of the boxes. I've used quite a good few of them, and what's left over will go into my leftover folder to use in my day-to-day spread. And then I've also realised at this stage that I could pop on the weekend banner, which I had missed earlier, and so I've gone up into the right there and I've popped on the weekend script, which was quite small. It wasn't easy to see on that leopard print, but it was quite pretty nevertheless. So thank you for being patient with me. I must pay more attention to those little skips in future, but I do appreciate your patience and and we look forward to the next one.